Making frame and panel assemblies using the CMT Junior Set. The CMT way, the easy way. In this video, you'll learn how to cope the end grain of the rails, make the long grain cut in all the frame parts, and make raised panels using the CMT Junior Set. The 3-piece Junior Set is perfectly designed for smaller scale projects, designed for material from 7/16 to 11/16 inch thick. The end grain cutter is the bit with the ball bearing in the center. Using a felt tip marker, write a number 1 on this bit since you'll always use it first. The long grain cutter has the ball bearing on the top of the bit. Again, using a felt tip, write a number 2 on this bit since you'll use it second. The panel raising bit includes a back cutter, which guarantees that the tongue on the end of the panel is always a perfect fit for the groove in the frame. This simple shop-made coping sled with a toggle clamp is used to secure the rails for the end grain cuts. Get started by clamping a test piece, the same thickness as your door material, into the coping sled. Set the top of the end grain cutter even with the material. Position the fence by using a straight edge to make the face of the fence even with the ball bearing in the cutter. Make a test cut by locking a sample piece in the coping sled and cutting partially into it. Check your work by examining the end grain cut. If the lip on the front is too small, raise the bit. If the shoulder on the back is too small, lower it. Before machining your door parts, take the time to mark the back face of each piece. All cuts are made back face up. Now make the end grain cut on all your door rails. Cut completely through the rails and into the coping sled. In addition to securely holding your material, the coping sled prevents chipping on the exit side of your cut. Insert cutter number 2 in your router table and set the height of the bit. Align the groove cutter on the bit with the tongue on the completed rail. Once again, position the fence by aligning the face of the fence with the ball bearing on the bit. Add feather boards to your fence and run a test piece past the cutter. Now check your work. The pieces should be flush across the face. If the piece with the end grain cut is too high, you'll need to raise bit number 2. If the piece with the long grain cut is too high, you'll need to slightly lower bit number 2. With bit number 2 fine-tuned to the proper height, machine a long grain cut into all of your door frame pieces. Calculate the size of your door panel by measuring on the face of the door frame. Use the transition between the profile and the face of the door frame as a guide for the edge of the panel. Reduce the speed of your router and insert the panel raiser. Use a gauge stick, which is the same thickness as the width of the groove, to set the height of the bit. Adjust the height of the bit until the gauge stick easily slips between the 2 cutters. Position the fence by making the face of the fence even with the ball bearing in the cutter. Using a pencil, mark this position on the router table. This is the position for the second pass with this bit. From this position, measure forward 1/4 of an inch. This is where you'll position the fence for the first pass. Add feather boards to the fence, then bring the fence forward to position number 1. Make a sample cut in a test piece. Relocate the fence for the second pass. and complete the test cut in your sample piece. Check your work by slipping the test panel into a door frame piece. Lay a straight edge across both parts. It should be touching both pieces. If the door panel is too high, lower the panel raiser. If the frame is too high, raise the panel raiser. Mark the back face of your panel. All cuts are done with the back face up. Return your fence to the position for the first cut and machine your panel in this sequence: end grain, long grain, end grain, long grain. Position the fence for the second pass and complete your panel. Dry fit the door to check all the parts, and then you're ready to assemble your beautiful door. Use the CMT Junior set for your smaller scale projects and make beautiful frame and panel doors the CMT way, the easy way.